Hello, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I am Disco Kitty, the Crappy Crafter. Today we're going to do something pretty simple. I had talked about it a couple times. I'm going to paint rocks that I make from this mold. We're going to use the small rocks first because, you know, these are obviously going to take up a lot of compound. So I want to try a couple different things with them, see if they'll work. And yeah, I'm kind of excited. So, rocks, casting compound, mica powders maybe, we'll see. Paint, definitely, because we're going to paint on them. So, yeah, let's get right into it. Okay, so let's start by dusting these molds. This is a multi-chrome powder. It's a cheap stuff. It looks like the stuff that you get from Let's Resin, but it is not. It's not nearly as nice. I really need to get some of the Let's Resin stuff in order to make this work properly. I might call this Let's Resin somewhere else in the video, but I can't remember if I do. This one is just a super cheap micro glitter. It's probably not even really a micro glitter, but it is a holographic gold glitter. And these first two are the ones that work the best. This gold is super amazing, but not on this. The gold works really, really well with resin, and it works really... Oh. Can I have a moment of silence? Oh, it's okay. I get most of it back out, and then I end up making, or trying to make, 2 gold rocks in the end. But, ooh, covered. I end up being covered in so much gold powder twice in this video, so... This is just standard black mica powder, cheap stuff that I got from Amazon. It also kind of works, kind of doesn't. I should have dusted the molds better. I'm going to make some of this perfect cast compound, which is not quite the same thing as the stuff that came in Jackie's box. This is a 3-to-1 ratio. It's 3 scoops of powder to 1 scoop of water. And I like it. It works really well. It hardens up really, really well. It's a little heavier than the Activa stuff. It's definitely not as white as the Activa stuff, which I'm a little disappointed with still. But it is basically just concrete mix. So I shouldn't be surprised. 3 scoops will fill up the first 3 cavities, and then I will do another batch of 3 scoops, and it will fill up the last 2 cavities that have been dusted, and we're not going to fill up the plain one, just because. Oh, that's a big lump, but you know what? It's okay, it's in the middle. Nobody will even notice. Almost perfect. Now that they're all cured, well, they're dry. They're not completely cured yet. At this point, it's only been about 2 hours. They're hard enough to take out of the molds, but they have to sit for another 24 hours to completely evaporate all of the water that's inside of them. Yeah, the gold does not stay on the rocks. It stays a little bit. It gives it kind of a yellowish, goldish color, but it's not shiny. This last rock, I will really, really just take all the excess gold off with my fingers. Like I said, I'm covered in gold a lot in this video. Here are the 5. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to paint on them. Just dots this time. They're all Mandala Dots. First one I'm going to use Posca's, the second one I'm going to use Artisa, and then more Artisa, but paint, not markers. And then I think the last 2 are all Sargent. Unfortunately, the last 2 I forgot to hit record, or I didn't put the card back in the machine. I'm not sure which, but yeah. So starting off with the Poscas, they work pretty well. They're pretty sheer. I could have gone over them with a second coat, and that probably would have been nicer. But I'm still starting out on this journey, so they're good enough. We'll just let you listen to the music. Next up, we are going to use the Artisa paint markers. The nib on these is much bigger, but I'm still able to get pretty good dots with this. I find that the Artisa ones are about the same as the Poscas, especially in an application like this. They might be a little bit more sheer, but it's hard saying. I think they worked well enough for my purposes. Next up and last that I filmed is the Artisa acrylic paints. This is a much heavier body than what's in the markers. Go figure, because a heavy body paint is not going to flow out of markers. So this worked the best. They all have little raised bumps in the middle where the paint is kind of schlooped up, but I think it gives it an interesting quality. I feel bad that I forgot to record the last two rocks with the Sargent acrylic paints. Now the Sargent acrylic paints are super cheap. They're huge bottles and it's a thinner body. It flows better. It probably work really well for paint pouring, actually. Now that I think about it, I should try that. Anyways, so it doesn't have quite the peaks that these end up having, these spots having. So it's really a personal preference of whether you want this style with the little peaks in the middle of each dot, or if you want them to be nice and flat. Wow, these came out super cute, I think. I'm going to do more of these definitely on camera and off so I can get better at it, because I know it takes a lot of practice to do these, but let's go through them. Now the gold did rub right off of these, which I totally expected. I didn't expect the ones that worked to work as well as they did. Of all the powders, I think this one was the best, and this one was I think it was Let's Resin pigment powder. It was some big pigment powder I got off of Amazon, but it worked the best. And it probably would look really good if I could make this black, but it's hard to dye this stuff. As you saw in one of my previous videos when I tried to dye the permastone that I got out of Jackie's box, I imagine that it would be much the same results if I tried to do that with these. At some point I'll probably try to do that just to see what'll happen, just to see what the difference is. But yeah, I think these came out great. I think they're really cute. I highly recommend it. Everybody should do it. Seriously, it's a lot of fun. It's very relaxing. It doesn't take very much time. It doesn't take very much skill when you're starting out, but it's definitely something that you can build up over time. So go out, get some rocks, make some rocks, whatever, get some paint, and then make dots on rocks. It's fun. So, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. Ring the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future videos. And until next time, stay safe. Loki delivery?
Loki delivery.
Oh, look at the fuzz butt. Oh, look at my lovely fuzz. Oh, the fuzz. He does not want to be here. Oh, he's so warm. Snip the camera. Oh, you're purring.
He was sleeping.
Oh, were you sleeping? Did we wake you up for snuggles? I love you. He says, I hate you, Mama.